Hi, I'm Gweneth Lee, known as London's most prolific mistress by the Daily Mail. Oftentimes I'm asked, why do married men have affairs? Let me tell you a story about someone I'll call Bob. Bob was a lovely gentleman in his 70s, although his advertisement said 60s. And Bob was in great shape for his age. However, he had a wife that hadn't been intimate with him for quite some time. Bob and I would meet whenever I was in town on business, and we would go for these lovely, long, lingering lunches, have amazing conversation about his life when he was an international CEO in the music industry. He loved talking about music. He talked about his family. He shared the loss that was devastating of one of his sons and about his wife's illness as she each year progressively became worse with dementia until she was bedridden and no longer recognized him. Our talks were the highlight of Bob's time seeing me. We would meet once a month, maybe once every other month, depending on when I was in town and if he was available as well. Talking, sharing, and emotional intimacy was the true reason why we were connected. Plus, he liked knowing that physical intimacy was going to be a part of it, but it had very little to do with his primary reason for knowing me, particularly if it went on for 4 to 6 years. What happened in the bedroom was nice. He liked knowing it was an option. It was something he was no longer experiencing at home, and I was the only woman, to my knowledge, that he was intimate with. Progressively, she no longer recognized him. His heart was broken. He had to sell a family home and move to a smaller location that was easier to help manage her with care and family around, until eventually he and I had to discontinue seeing each other because then he also, due to the years of stress, had developed medical concerns. That is one person that I shared a lovely relationship with. To Bob, it was all about the emotional intimacy. To me, what I got out of it was seeing a man who smiled from the time he arrived until the time he left, and I looked like the sun shining in the sky in his eyes. He held my hand, he opened all my doors, and he treasured all of our time together. That feeling as a woman is a gift.